All right, Aaron, thank you for joining us for the Culture and People podcast. In a few sentences, tell us who you are and what you do.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me on your podcast.
Of
It's
course.
an honor to be part of the conversation. So my name is Aaron Rindt. I like to start these types of answers out by kind of stating what I'm about, and then I'll get into what I do professionally. So I'm really passionate about intentional purpose, collaboration, and creating opportunities to make an impact in all aspects of my life. I'm a father, a husband, a brother, and a friend. And professionally, I currently lead the team that has the privilege of guiding everything from hospitality to engagement as manager for ETE Reman's Community, Culture, and Employee Engagement Department. Role, we handle pretty much what I mentioned: hospitality, engagement, culture initiatives, and a lot of the communication work here at ETE Reman.
Oh my gosh, so exciting. I love it. And intentional purpose and collaboration. So digging that a lot. It's really
Thank
good.
you.
All right. So tell me, in your experience, what's the best thing about working in this people and culture space?
Yeah, I think you and I chatted a little bit offline right before this, but the ability to be a source of connection and collaboration, to be, I know the word resource kind of has a little bit different of a connotation right now in our people ops and HR space, but really just building an authentic and genuine relationship where people are comfortable in approaching you to ask a question, to ask for help, to get your opinion, to have some type of guidance. So be a resource in that perspective, but still be a human, still be that person behind that question or that answer in that dialogue. But then also being able to be of any assistance to anybody in my network. And in my network, I view as not necessarily professional or personal, but it's family, it's friends, it's colleagues, it's team members. It's how they're making an impact on my life and how I'm able to make an impact on their life in return.
Oh, I love it. I think the source of connection, what a good thing. What a good thing. So I'm hearing from other leaders like yourself that engaging employees is a challenge. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, especially, obviously as we've all experienced in recent months, the challenges, but also the opportunity to really ask, the why, the what, the where, and how we're supporting each other as fellow team members across the organization, but then also in our own departments and our own daily interactions with individuals, no matter who or where they are in the organization. I think that's absolutely critical. We've taken it is not only a way to live our core values, but to learn and adapt to the needs of our team members right now, and being able to see into the future, how that's going to impact us maybe in 6 months or 12 months, and being sensitive to that, and really trying to live our core values again through and through. One of the powerful opportunities that my team currently has is to help identify and develop the next level of supervisors and team leads in our manufacturing specific departments. So having an environment based on trust that we were able to build even more so through the challenges that COVID brought, but truly empower the employees to evolve and make an impact in their own, again, in an environment of trust and empowerment. That's been a huge part of the work that we've been doing, and it's really exciting. Again, trying to take a silver lining out of what we've been through and what we're still going through, but being able to identify ways that we can have a positive aspect to that and not only help our team members, but obviously our company and our customers and everybody that's a stakeholder in this process.
Yeah, I love that. And good for you, Aaron, for creating sort of that pipeline by identifying and developing those leaders. Do you have an official program or a rotation that you'll put them through, or is it more from an HR people ops perspective of identifying who those high potentials are?
Yeah, all of the above. So the first part is working with the current managers, and that started with our production manager, Paul, and then one of the newer managers for the teardown department, Keith. They had approached me about an idea of, we have an individual that was up for promotion actually, or had applied for a promotion rather, and that person didn't get it just because of some of the opportunity areas that they had identified, and that's where the idea in conversation with myself came about, well, let's look at ways that we know that he's maybe, has a very high level of technical aptitude for, building a transmission, but maybe the communication skills are the area of improvement. And that's what's prohibiting him from maybe truly making it over to a personnel leader type role. So that's really where that conversation started. And now that's going into the pilot program where we've identified 5 other individuals, so 6 total. And that's how we're building out the program to see not only what areas of opportunity we can create in that sense, but that we have available already, and then find other team members on the line that maybe have some of those skill sets that they're trying to build or that they don't currently have, and be able to allow them to shadow them. So have a leadership component, have a manager and a peer component, and then have the community team, which is my department, be kind of that resource and that guide, and be the opportunity in itself to answer questions and to provide answers where needed, and kind of bridge those gaps as they come up.
Oh, very cool. Lovely that you're doing a pilot, right? To sort of section that out, but 6 is a great number. And I think that targeted development, whether it's individually or collectively with the 6 of them, around their strengths, around how do you understand who you are and how you're made, right? So that self-awareness, number one predictor of success, right? So how do we help them raise up their self-awareness so that they can achieve? I love that. I love that approach with the development. Yeah. Good luck. Keep me updated with that.
Absolutely. Yeah. You and many of our culture MKE colleagues are definitely a huge aspect of that as a resource, and just our conversations on a bi-weekly basis now have been very, very impactful in that work. So thank you to you all as well.
Oh man, anytime. I love that group. So Aaron, kind of building on the employee engagement, what advice would you share with other organizations who want to advance their culture or their people strategy?
Yeah, for us in how we've been approaching our people, which are, for us, people make the company. So any decision at any level, it should really reflect or speak to the company's core values. I truly believe that. If you don't have the core values or a clear purpose or a mission, you should really start there, because that helps you not only define where do you want to go as a company, but it allows everybody that's a part of the team to also have kind of a North Star or a guiding light. And then you're able to make your individual decisions, or, whether that's as a individual, a team, a department, maybe cross-team collaborations, you always have that overall purpose and that mission, and what you can tie what you're doing to that. And that can't be argued against. If it's being argued against your core values, then you obviously have a much deeper discussion that you need to have, and really reassess what you're all doing at that current time. So that's where I would start. And that goes again throughout the entire process: planning, execution, feedback, change management, whatever part of the process. I think that's always a really good place to not only start from, but to really check and make sure that you're on the right path in what you're doing. And then after that, the foundation of how you operate as a company, if you're not supporting those core values, the preface of everything that we do, and we went through an organizational change about almost a year ago now, and to say that we didn't have core values before that, I think would be unfair, but that's when we really identified how we wanted to operate as a company. And again, everything that we do is tied to that, and that's been extremely empowering to know that no matter what you're doing, if you align it with that, you have the automatic support of everybody in the organization, and there's that automatic buy-in, and that's extremely powerful to have, and it's a really special place to be in.
Yeah, I agree. I think the collaboration that you get from sort of meeting your employees and listening to them, but then also giving them this thing to bump up against. As humans, as autonomous as we are, it's really nice to have those guiding principles, those values, that North Star, whatever. So I agree with you. I think that's a really good key to that. And kudos for you guys on that org change. Like you said, it's not the time that you discovered your values, but I always think that's a great time to clarify how we're going to live out these values, because just like humans, organizations can lose their way. We get busy, we get distracted, humans get hangry. Like there's all these things that distract us. We got to keep focused.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So Aaron, who are the other leader, maybe another leader like yourself, who you would recommend as a guest in the podcast?
Yeah, so I have a few here. First and foremost in my list, and certainly the last 9 months, or really in 2020, and you know him quite well, Zach Dem from Perennial and Culture First MKE. He's such an incredible professional in the culture space, and we're very lucky to have him here in the Milwaukee area or southeastern Wisconsin area. But again, he's been quite the inspiration for me in a lot of the work and conversations that him and I had through the perennial lens. And then that's how I was able to get involved in the Culture First movement. But Zach definitely. Second one would be Joel Logie. He's in the recruiting space. And he has an incredibly powerful perspective on almost everything that I have read and or listened to from him. A lot of it is not necessarily recruiting specific, even though he is in that space, but how he is able to really put the human touch or the human perspective on everything that he's talking about and the questions that he asks. It's very engaging and it's very empowering. So I really, really enjoy reading and listening to what Joel has to say. And then really any of our colleagues on the Culture First MKE chapter, the core members, it's been an incredibly special opportunity for me to be a part of that group, and what I've taken, what I've been able to take from everybody in our conversations, big or small. It's been incredible for me as a professional and how I've been able to evolve myself. And I attribute a lot of that to all of our fellow core members. And then last but not least, you, Anna, hearing you and you know, whether it's your TED Talk, your podcasts, some of the posts that you put out there, your perspective is absolutely incredible. And we are the lucky ones that get to be able to have a special part in that journey and culture and people ops in this space. So I think, you know, if any one of us had the opportunity to interview you on your own podcast, that'd be a really cool opportunity.
Oh, you're gonna make me cry on a Tuesday. Thanks, Aaron. You're so great.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's been,
Well, thank you. It's so good to be connected to you, and I appreciate you being on the podcast today.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And again, the perspective and taking the time out of your schedule, I can't thank you enough.
Anytime, Aaron.